Hello, I'm Brittney Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the arts culture in the ArkLaTex. Today we have a interview with Rachel McDonald. She's the spotlighted artist for Bossier Arts Council's Artini event, which is a big gala held where local businesses enter their martini recipes and everybody gets to try them, and it's a fundraiser to help raise funds for Bossier Arts Council and all their programs that they provide for Bossier City and the NWLA. I want to take a moment to talk about Rachel McDonald. Her art is inspired by Old West and shows amazing contrast, vivid color, Western critters, and cowboy hats with stunning graphic design elements and typography that make it pop. Her art perfectly fits the theme for Artini this year, which is Rhinestone Cowboy. So I want to take a moment to look at her art. So let's look at Instagram right here. So this is her Instagram, and we see this is the poster for Artini. And you notice all the Western themes, but it has a lot of vivid contrast and great color. Almost has that old marketing graphic design style to it. She is a mixed media artist who does both acrylic paintings and digital work. She also works with resin. So she layers her work. I just want to take a moment to look at some of the art that she has here. Okay, here we go. There we go. So, this is one of her paintings of some alligators. Here's her poster for Rhinestone Cowboy for the Artini event. And as I was saying, you see the amazing contrast between dark and light, and all the almost Western old-style Hollywood designs. If we go down here, we can see more of her work here. You can tell that it definitely fits the theme for Rhinestone Cowboy. These are adorable. But as you can see, a lot of her work is a mix of typography, graphic design, and it's acrylic paintings, along with resin. So now we're going to check out our interview that I had with her. She discusses why the theme fits her, what inspires her, and how you can see more of her work and support Bossier Arts Council. Enjoy. Hello, this is Brittney Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the creative talents of our area. And today we have a special guest, a spotlighted artist for Artini that's being held by Bossier Arts Council. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about who you are and what you do.
All right. Hi, I'm Rachel McDonald. I am the featured artist for Artini this year, and I'm also an assistant professor in graphic design over at LSUS.
That's great. So how does it feel to be the spotlighted artist for Bossier Arts Council's Artini?
I mean, right off the bat, I was really excited, especially with the theme and everything. And I think knowing how great the event is every year, I got even more excited to be involved. So yeah, I don't know. I was just really, really happy, and really ready to hit the ground running with the planning and stuff.
Yeah, I I bet that was exciting,
Yeah.
when they told you. Um, so how do you feel about the theme, Rhinestone Cowboy? And, does it feel like it fits your art style?
So when they told me the theme, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so perfect." I would say it definitely fits my art style and influence. I grew up in a household that was constantly playing old Western movies in some
Mm.
form or another. So I've always gravitated towards like that old Hollywood aesthetic, and big personalities like Clint Eastwood. Um, and yeah, I don't know, there's just something about that, and then mixing graphic design with painting, and I've just kind of been dabbling with that style for a while. So when they approached me about it, I was like, absolutely, yes.
So, so you do mixed media, right? So what would you say what kind of artist are you, and what mediums do you work with the most?
Well, the most I'd say graphic design right now, just because that's my day job. Um, but as far as like fine art goes, definitely acrylics and other mediums like epoxy resin and layering. I kind of started doing that back in 2011 and picked it up relatively recently. I guess last year for the Revel, kind of started experimenting with that. So, yeah, mostly acrylics and other mediums kind of mixed in.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to do acrylic, watercolor, and then I started experimenting in resin myself, and a little bit of sculpting with epoxy clay.
Oh, very cool.
If you ever get your hands on it, it's worth trying. Um, so what inspires your work?
Uh, I would say it's kind of hard to describe. It's like a mixture of everything. So it's like everyday items, signage, especially like antiques with really solid illustration and
Mm.
typography. I guess that's where the graphic design background comes in. Because there's a lot to learn from like old solid graphic design as far as like composition and color. And I've always been inspired by wildlife in Louisiana. So some of that makes its way into my work usually. And I also grew up working on a ranch owned by some family friends. So that Western aesthetic was always there too. So that kind of makes its way into my work as well. So
That's perfect, especially with the theme. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so in your own words, why is Artini an important event?
Um, There are lots of reasons. I think the obvious would be like as a really good social event, just as a celebration for local arts. Um, but the Bossier Arts Council has always done so much for Bossier and the East Bank, and just the support that they provide for local creatives is so important and really needed. And just the ways that they provide that support. So it's fun, but it's also a really solid way to show support for the local art scene.
Yeah, they helped me out starting my art career, so I agree.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to this? Yeah, maybe tell us how to find your work, and how, where they could go to do that.
Okay. So right now my website is mostly for my graphic design work and like research in academia. So I wouldn't go there for paintings. But I have been updating my social media. So I've got
Oh,
Instagram. You can find me at rrrach.mcd, and that's on Instagram.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Anything else you'd like to add other than
Um,
that?
Not really. I think I'm just excited about the event and I hope to see lots of people there. If anybody's on the fence about attending, just give it a shot because I think you'll really enjoy the event. So
You'll probably see me there, actually.
awesome.
So,
I hope so.
All right. Thank you so much for taking your time with us.
Yeah,
You take
definitely.
care.
Thanks for reaching out.
No problem. Thank you so much for stopping in. You can catch more of these interviews. I have weekly Zoom interviews for ArkLaTex Artistry, as well as one usually in-depth interview with an artist exploring their work once a month. You can find those on our websites, KSLA.com and ArkLaTexToday12.com, as well as on our apps, News Now, as well as Roku, Apple, Android, and YouTube. So look out for us, and I'll see you next Saturday at noon.